is WMAY, the Mike Winmacher Show, sans Mike Winmacher. My name is Kevin Hart. This is a segment I do all the time. I try to do it every single week. We were off last week for Thanksgiving, of course. We're back this week talking live with Gus Gordon, State of the Arts, about all the sort of things going on around town locally and some big national theater news. We're going to spend the first half of this segment talking about what's going on locally, and then we come back from the break, we'll talk about all those things, specifically Annie Live, Stephen Sondheim as well, and Eddie Mecca. But thank you, Gus, for joining me.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Of course. Well, it's great talking with you. First of all, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I had a very nice Thanksgiving. Very low-key, but as I get older, I like that a lot more.
Very good. Well, that's fun. I had a good Thanksgiving myself, saw a lot of family, both
Great.
immediate, extended, and had some nice food, have rested up a little bit. It was nice. It was a good time.
Well, good for you. That's fantastic. You need that time to recoup, and especially heading into the month of December, which is notoriously busy in the entertainment business and in the news business and radio business.
It is. It is definitely going to be busy for the next couple of weeks, and then there'll be, of course, some rest and things will pick, of course, right back up as they seem to. But especially in the entertainment world, because there is so much going on this month in December. Quite a bit going on. Tonight, in fact, is the opening night of Elf the Musical at STC. I was able to catch part of the rehearsal. I filmed the commercial for it.
Great.
Yeah, and I mean, it was tech week. They were still working some things out, but it was a lot of fun. Energy's there. The guy playing Buddy is great, as are the other ensemble and main characters. Mark Anderson is funny as Santa. I'm forgetting the woman's name who plays Jovi, but she's great. The elves are wonderful, and all the ensemble, and it's just, there's a lot of high energy, colorful. The orchestra sounds great. Love hearing those live orchestras. Coming back with shows, and it's definitely gonna be fun. Tickets are selling fast, and they are selling out basically, and so it is very fun to see that show coming back, and it is this weekend and next weekend.
Exactly. The tickets are selling out, so there's not many left. So if you haven't purchased your tickets already, you might be out of luck. You can still give us a call at the box office. 217-523-2787, and there are a few singles left, but you really want to do that quickly.
Yes. Also want to mention that on the 11th, which is, I believe, if I'm looking at the calendar here, next Saturday, there's going to be a sign language interpreter. So if you are deaf or hard of hearing, you'll be able to go see the show, and I think it's really cool that they're doing that for this production.
That is great. Yeah. No, that's a very good service.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you and think so there. So that is, Elf is this weekend, next weekend. If you don't already have your tickets, like we said, and you want to go see it, I don't know what you're doing listening to the show. Well, because you like listening to me, and I appreciate it. But go online, pick up the phone, get in contact with the Hoagland Center for the Arts and Springfield Theater Center to make sure that you get those tickets. But then there's also STC's putting on a couple other shows coming up that are cast. The Miscast Cabaret auditions were over Thanksgiving weekend, and they cast it, and I am going to be in that, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, good for you. What are you singing?
I don't know yet. I'm going to figure that out next week. We're going to have a big full cast meeting and figure those things out. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. The last cabaret they did was the Broadway Through the Ages, which was filmed and then released online. But this will be a live concert, and it'll be miscast. So you'll have men singing women's songs, women singing men's songs, etc. There'll be solos, duets, some group numbers, and the cast list is posted online. It's on WMAY, but of course on STC's Facebook page. I shared it out. The cast members shared it. We got a great group, a great cast. I think it's going to be a wonderful production.
Excellent. Yeah, that's always fun to see people getting the chance to sing songs they wouldn't normally get to do.
Yeah, because there are so many songs that I know we both have, and I'm pretty sure everyone who loves musical theater is like, I love, this song from from, I don't know, like Bye Bye Birdie or something that I would love to sing, or from Sweet Charity or Annie or anything, and it's just like, oh, I'd be able to sing this song, or you're too young or you're too old or something. But so it's going to be really fun. There's going to be all sorts of different styles and all sorts of people singing different songs. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The rehearsals are starting up. I believe some of them are starting this weekend, but we are going to be having a meeting soon, and we'll get all the information. So that's going to be fun. Excited to start that project.
That sounds great.
Yes.
Good luck with that. Break a leg.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then also Gem of the Ocean has been cast, and they are already in rehearsals as well, and that's going to be coming up in February. Reggie Guyton's directing that, and definitely going to be a good production, I think. One that I don't know a whole lot about. Well, I do know a little bit about it. I did talk with Reggie about it a little bit. For STC, we did an informational video for the auditions, but it is not a show that I've seen, and I don't think a lot of people probably have seen in this area. And it's going to be a very powerful, moving story, I think. So I'm excited to see that, and that's coming up in February.
Yeah, do we know the cast yet for that?
There should be, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe there should be a cast list.
Sorry
you can find
that.
it. No, you're fine. So that would either be at SDC's website or on their Facebook page. You can look that up there as well. Maybe you'll bring that around for maybe the second segment there. But so those are all coming up from STC, and then you'll of course have auditions eventually for the Murder Mystery as well as Moana Jr. Those are the last two shows of the season. We're already talking about the last couple shows. This year is flying by.
It really is. But it's good to talk about those, Kevin, because people can buy tickets and give them as Christmas gifts.
Yes, they can. That is a wonderful Christmas gift to get tickets for those productions at STC and many other productions happening as well. Because speaking, of course, of the Hoagland Center for the Arts, a wonderful holiday tradition, the dual piano Christmas show is coming up this month, which, speaking of Elf, tickets selling fast. I know tickets are got to be selling fast for this.
They always do. Mark Gifford, Damian Kaplan, two fantastic piano players, and not just pianists, but entertainers. They both do multiple things, and Damian is a master of most instruments. It's a great concert. We've done it for several years now, and people love it. So, again, get your tickets early for that. That's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of December. It's coming up, and it's going to be a fantastic show, and we hope to sell out the house, too. Everyone be safe, though. When you do come into the Hoagland, we ask you to wear your mask, and that's going to be especially important this weekend and next weekend with Elf, with a sold-out show.
Yeah.
We need people to be masked and to cooperate just so we stay safe.
Yes, because we were talking. I was talking a little bit with Anna McFarland earlier, and we can talk a little bit about the Muni, some of the things they have coming up as well. But we were just so happy that all these shows are coming back, and there's show after show after show again, which was the norm in the Springfield area for such a long time, and we're great. But to keep that going, we do have to follow these guidelines to make sure that theaters stay open, people stay safe, and people stay healthy, and these shows can keep going on.
Exactly. We've had cases on the rise in Sangamon County, so we're paying close attention to that. So people just, please cooperate and help us out so we can continue to present things and not have to take a step backwards.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And I'll just go right into it then with Anna McFarland was here this morning. She talked with Greg Bishop earlier, and then I recorded an interview, played it back on the air earlier. The Muni is doing its virtual Santa again, which is a wonderful thing that I hope turns into a tradition for the Muni, because it's such a neat thing where the kids get to meet with Santa virtually for a couple of minutes, their wish list, they get to talk to him, and it's so cool. And it had such a great response last year, and I'm sure it's going to be people are going to love it this year, and I hope they continue to do it.
And I think it's a great experience because kids don't get quite as frightened talking to Santa on the computer as they might having to sit on some person's lap that they don't know.
Right.
And Santa is larger than life.
He is.
So that can be a little intimidating, especially to little kids.
Right. And the convenience and like you said, the the convenience and almost not the availability is the word I'm looking for, but being comfortable, in your own home,
Right.
and if you're not going out to the mall or wherever he is and waiting in a line, and it's like the Christmas store, you get up there and I want the BB gun, and he kicks him down the slide. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't happen, but I'm saying it's great that they're doing this, and it's so personalized for them. So that's coming up. Also want to say the Nutcracker's coming up as well. I know, we've said there's been, there's all sorts of things people talking about online, but that show is coming together as well. Always a huge show for the Springfield Ballet Company, so that is coming up as well. Definitely want to.
Very good.
Yes.
I think tickets are selling well, and they have to call UIS Performing Arts Center. So that's going to be here right before we know it.
Yes, it will. So like we said, plenty of things going on this month of December that you can get. You can be involved with. Watch all those things going on. So we're going to take a short break here, but we're going to be back, and we're going to talk about a couple of things. We have some sad news with the passing of Stephen Sondheim, one of the masters of musical theater. Also, we've both been in Annie a couple of times, fans of the musical, and Annie Live premiered last night, and it has people more divided than I thought it would. So we're going to talk about it, our impressions, and sort of what maybe in general some of those live musicals on TV, and as well as we also want to talk about Eddie Mecca, who passed, who was wonderful, and was in a local production of Guys and Dolls that Gus was involved with. So that's all coming up. That is part of the overture of Annie, a little bit of You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile, the song Bert Healy sings on the radio. I played Bert Healy, as did Gus years ago.
Right.
Which is, Annie is a wonderful show. I've seen it so many times. You've seen it probably many more. We've both done the show a couple times. My sister was Annie, did the show a couple times. My dog was Sandy twice, my late dog.
How fun.
So we've... between us, we have quite a bit of Annie knowledge, and the show, Annie, has been adapted to screen 3 times of varying...
4 times now.
4 times. Well, now it's 4 times. So this is now the 4th adaptation of the show as NBC Live's latest musical. Now, I was just telling you guys recently, just like off air, I actually had fallen asleep yesterday after work, and I woke up like halfway through it, but I had it DVR'd, so I was able to watch it to the end and then rewatch the first part of it. So this is NBC's live production of Annie. It was... I think this is one they've been talking about doing for a while, probably, I'm sure. Right. And it is that iconic story. Everyone knows it. Everybody knows the songs. And now it's interesting because they adapted it very accurately in terms of the song choices that they had. They added some things, I think, to pad out the time. But they made some changes to the script, which I know is going to rub some people the wrong way.
Well, they always do, and my complaint was that we've never seen a definitive version of the stage show Annie. It's always been rewritten to some degree, and this attempt was no exception. They also, messed around with the script a little bit, and well, I'm not going to give it away for people who haven't seen it yet, but it's like it was a hit for a good reason. It was a solidly constructed show. Just trust the material. Yeah, I mean, the book won several Tonys, and that book is adapted by schools, theaters all the time, so I understand that there. It's there's a payoff at the end of the show that with a line where Annie talks about Miss Hannigan, you taught me never to tell a lie, and they don't have the payoff at the end, and I was upset about that. And they do some weird things at the end with the songs as well. They're kind of reordered. Yeah. I overall though thought it was a pretty good it was a good... I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. There were some good performances. There were some good numbers. Our boy Harry Connick Jr.
I was worried about him, and I was unfortunately some of us who were worried were kind of look. He's a great singer and he does a great job in a lot of things, and I don't think he was necessarily that bad in this. I thought he was charming, and he does have a good voice, but I don't know if his voice is the right voice for Warbucks. He had a bald cap that was like holding the world together. I mean, it was. I don't know. What did you think? Because you've played the role before, so what did you think?
I thought he was fine. I didn't think he was great. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
He had fun. I thought he, was charming and had a good rapport with the little girl playing Annie.
Yes.
But he just wasn't anything, totally special. And then, of course, they find opportunities for him to sit down at the piano and then rewrite the songs he's supposed to be singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Annie goes at one point, "Daddy Warbucks, I didn't know you played the piano." And my wife and I are watching, and I shout at the TV, "Daddy Warbucks doesn't play the piano. Harry Connick Jr. does." Why change that?
No, it was it was fine. It was. I was sort of like, oh my god, like when he went to the piano, and I was like, it's like Harry Connick Jr. heard all the like remarks about he's gonna croon his way through the score, and he says, "You know what? I don't care," and he hits the piano, and honestly,
lean into the criticism.
Yeah, honestly. I think he's fine, and I think he does better than I expected him to. I love Nicole Scherzinger. I think she's a great. As a singer, I think she did a cover of Goldeneye for the video game when they did that. I think she's a great singer, but I thought she did a pretty good job as Grace. I enjoyed. And this is something that you said. There are some. The ways characters are portraying themselves, it isn't always even, like in terms of, like, I guess when this takes place in the 20s, but Taraji P. Henson is funny, even though there's a lot of things with Miss Hannigan that they kind of move around a little bit a lot near the end, and some of the things, and they add some songs in from the 1980s movie as well.
True. My biggest complaint with the acting was that many of the cast members didn't seem like they were in the same show. Some were doing very broad comedy. Some were taking it overly serious. And, I thought Annie was very, very earnest and very, sad and depressed. And, I don't like the overly cloying version of Annie either when she's just all sunshine and rainbows. But I thought, boy, she's, very mopey, more so than a normal Annie, but she sang the heck out of it. I give her credit for that.
Yeah, she was wonderful. I loved hearing her maybe and basically everything else she sang. But yeah, and I don't know if that's an acting choice, directing choice. I'm not sure, but
right. I would say it's more a directing choice because again, I think it's good when all the characters seem like they're in the same universe together.
Right.
And this seemed to me, and it's just my opinion, that they were playing different versions of the show between many of the cast members. But, these things are really hard. And I never really like watching these live shows because I'm always scared that someone's going to choke or forget the words. And I'm just always scared for them. So I don't enjoy it quite as much as I normally would a production like that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I got to say, overall, though, I know I've been throwing some criticism. I did like it though. I enjoyed watching it, and I like the story. And I think it's I like the songs. The guy who played Bert Healy was killer. He did the he did Never Fully Dressed with Wacky. Megan Hilty was awesome. She was like great as Lily St. Regis. And I like Titus Burgess. I thought he did a great job as Rooster. I know he's a little like you talked about in the universe. He's he's a little different from maybe usually, but I thought he did a good job. But there's anyways, that is I'm sure going to be re-aired soon. You can watch it on Peacock.
Oh, sure.
We are getting a little late for news, but I do want to mention Stephen Sondheim, his death. The contributions to musical theater. The man. We could fill an entire another hour just talking about the wonderful shows that we have both been in. many people in this community have been in, that have been his shows, his songs, his lyrics, even his just lyrics work in West Side Story is amazing, but the shows that he wrote, and he inspired so many, even people who aren't musical theater people. And there are certain shows, and I mean, people are like, I don't watch musicals, I don't listen to musicals, but man, I know Stephen Sondheim from, Into the Woods or Sweeney Todd or something. I mean, the man's legacy, 91 years old and working up to the end, he was working on a show. So I mean, his legacy will live on.
He was a true genius, one of the few true geniuses we had working in the theater, and he will be so gravely missed. And it was really interesting seeing all the tributes on Facebook.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Facebook light up like that for a celebrity in a very long time, and all of the entertainment community was just saying what a huge loss it was. And at 91, we expect it, but it still came as a shock.
Yeah, it still sucks. He was so good, and it was, it was such a loss. But his work is still out there and still being performed, and whatever show he was still working on in some capacity, I'm sure it'll find its way. Either I think it might have been close to preview, so it might be coming out at some point. But so we'll see where that goes. Also, briefly, I know you wanted to talk a bit about Eddie Mecca, who recently passed, who was in a Hoagland production.
Yeah, Eddie Mecca was best known as the Big Ragu in Laverne and Shirley. Had a good career on Broadway and television and in some movies. He was in League of Their Own. He danced with Madonna in that. And Eddie came here in 2009 to play Nathan Detroit in our production of Guys and Dolls in Concert. He was quite a character, and he did a great job in the show. And it was a week that will live in infamy for some crazy events that we don't really have time to go into. But it has gone down in at least in my theater legend as one of those crazy events. And he was, again, a true character, a funny guy, a nice guy, and the show was better because of his presence. And at 69 years old, that is not expected. And I'm really sorry that he passed on. He was a very talented guy.
Yes, and he will be missed. If you guys, Gus put a clip on Facebook from that production of him doing Sue Me with Mary Jo Curry, and it was a wonderful, wonderful performance. I can only imagine the full show. I don't know if I saw it. I don't think I did, but I know that was a wonderful show. Woefully late for news. Gus, thank you so much for joining me. We'll do this again next week.
All right, Kevin, you have a good weekend.
You too.